Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video we are playing more of What Remains of Edith Finch. Now in the previous episode we started exploring the Finch estate. We're playing as Edith, who's the last remaining Finch, who's come back to her family home after evacuating years before when a storm hit, to basically search around and find the clues and piece together what happened to the rest of her family, and maybe try and avoid the same fate. She's pregnant with her own child and she's basically recounting all this family history and chronicling it so she can pass it down to her baby when it is born, and you know, even if she's died, her child still has that information at hand. So with that said guys, the previous video we looked into the backstory of Molly, Barbara, Calvin, Sam, Walter and Odin. Now we're going to be continuing. We've got Gregory, Gus, Milton, Lewis, Dawn and Edie to look into in this episode, and of course wrapping up Edith's story as well. So let's dive back in and see where the story goes next. So of course where we left off, we were in Sam's room. We just did Sam's story and found out about his tragic end, and his daughter Dawn actually witnessed his death.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
You'll have this character talking quite a lot as we go through the game, guys, so I might be quiet a lot of this video while I let you listen to stuff, okay? Just a heads up. Got a letter here, but I don't think we can actually do anything with it. K Finch, airline ticket there. Don't know if that was Sam's wife, it might have been, I think. Let's see where we can go next then. Got this stuffed swan there, that's kind of eerie but cool at the same time. Let's go through here. Crawl space. Got ready meals there. I'm never a big fan of ready meals. They're always a disappointment.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Oh, Gregory's room. And through we go. Into Gregory's room. This is very strange. This is kind of like a barracks or something, but for like really young children. It's like where you get in the army. I guess Sam was in the army though. Look, there's even posters up here. Teamwork, respect, strength. Let's go and interact with this crib of Gregory's. It's a divorce contract. Okay, yeah, so Kay was Sam's wife, as we can see at the top there. Kay and Sam Finch. Divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
So yeah, we play these little memories, guys, and it looks like we're playing as Gregory when he was a baby, because I think Gregory died when he was like 1 year old or something. So here we go. What do we do? Can we wind this frog up? Oh yeah, the frog's come to life. Hey, and I can control the frog now. Well, I don't know if it's come to life, but it's swimming of its own accord.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to...
So that's Kay, obviously.
Hold on, sweetie.
Maybe
Hello?
he drowned in the bathtub and that's what led to their divorce.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Oh, look, we can jump and knock the ducks out of the bubbles. That's actually cool. So yeah, either way, we're gonna find out what happened to Gregory as a child. Like how he died. It's obviously gonna take place in this bathtub. But for now, it's happy, so let's not worry.
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
This is kind of cute.
Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw.
Can we get the whale to join us? I would like that. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Mr. Whale. Maybe I need to swim underneath these guys and sort of jump through the middle of them. Hey, yeah, look, we're on top of a whale.
Sure made him happy.
Boom. Now we can all swim together. Look, it says Gregory on the side over here. Can we knock this over? Yes, we can. Let's knock all the letters in. I used to love playing in the bath when I was a kid. Hey, I got an achievement for doing that. You can hear the mum arguing with Sam as well. You know, the mother and father arguing together in the background, but it's not very audible. I think we have to jump on its head. Wow! Oh, bubble bath. We're gonna try and land on the bubble bath, I think, guys. Boom. Okay, over we go.
I know how silly it sounds.
Right, how do we undo the bubble bath? Oh, we don't need to, it's just making bubbles.
But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Hey!
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Yeah, so his phone call is what caused the death somehow.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
They had like an argument or something. We still can play as a frog at the moment though. Maybe we need to bounce on his head again. Oh, we run the water again.
He could have told us.
Oh no, so yeah, he drowned in the bath.
About the world he saw.
That's kind of sad. Because the mother was away.
Hey, there's so much I don't understand.
Oh look, we're a frog underwater now. This is awesome.
About everything.
Wow. Now this game is so impressive and like original. It's not always super horror based, I'll say that
Know
much.
what happened wasn't your fault.
But it is cool. Although it is very dark story-wise if you actually think about what's going on in the story. It's about a baby drowning.
I'm sure he's happy.
And he's going towards the light. Stay out of the light, Gregory.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Yeah, so that's why they split up. Well, they'd already split up, I think, but they were having hard times, but that solidified it when their son, Gregory, drowned. He was like 1 year old. So that's Gregory's story. A very somber way to start the video off, despite how colourful it was. Got a little locker for Gregory there.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
Okay guys, so originally I completely missed this. This is actually recorded after my playthrough that you were watching, but I've come back to record. I had to play all the way through the game again. I've come back to record this last story. This is the only one I missed, and I don't know how I missed it. But either way, you might hear me reference the fact that I didn't get all the stories later in the video. This is the only one I missed, and I am now including it in the video. So this is going to be Gus's story, so let's check it out.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
That's cool. We're making the kite longer and longer with words. I like that. I've never flown a kite before, but it seems like it'd be fun.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
Ah, we have to like fly through it and then it reads it. Okay, I'll get you. I can't control this very well.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife.
He speaks very quietly. Hope you guys can hear this okay. Right, where do we go next? Whee! Look at that. This is fun. I could just do this all day. I could just fly the kite. What is this? Ooh, that's cool. Is that another sentence?
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Yeah, screw you, Dad. We're flying our kite right now. I don't think Sam's gonna be too happy with that.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
So the humans are going inside the tent. Oh, I bet like, because the wind's picking up. Yeah, I bet there's like some kind of like lightning or something hits him.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
So this is the storm, of course, that I was referencing earlier, but we saw like the destruction of the beach and stuff. This is why all the chairs were found in the trees and stuff.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, make the music louder.
So the dad ignored the fact there was a storm outside. He should have got his kid and made sure he came in, because we're going to get that lightning, you know, it's going to be striking us or something. Look at this though, this is crazy. Way, this is actually really fun. Oh, oops. Sorry about that, everyone. Are we alive? Are we okay?
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
Oh man, so yeah, Gus got like swept away by the wind and the storm. I thought he was gonna get hit by lightning.
I talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay, so where do we want to go next? Duties. Sweep trash. Oh, so they all had their own duties. Dawn had to sweep the trash. Gus had to mop and mow the yard. He was a very strict parent. And then Greg, it says be a baby because he was too young to do anything. They had the schedule and everything. Look, raise the flag at 7:30, breakfast at 8, quiet time by 11 p.m. And they had routines for like working out and stuff. Wow, 100 push-ups a day, man. He was cracking the whip, you know? Looks like we have to climb this.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Up to the loft we go then.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
So she's got, yeah, like a little memorial for him. I don't know if memorial's the right word, probably not, but yeah, like a little shrine is the word I was looking for.
I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers.
We can slide back down there to kind of move quickly, but I'm going to have a look at this instead.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
So Dawn, Sam's daughter, is Edith's mother. I get it. And then Sanjay was her father. Okay, cool. I gotcha. She's got a computer. Let's see, let's go out here now.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Look how high we are now. We've got a view of the whole place.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Oh, look, they've all got their own little growers.
And to see kids in the house again.
Edith, Milton, and Lewis, the 3 siblings with their little growers there.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
This is where they were homeschooled by the look of it. This is actually kind of cool. Although you wouldn't make a lot of friends, it would be cool if you were being homeschooled to have like a room like this in like literally a tree house.
But it didn't last.
Whoa!
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Let's look through the hole.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Oh, guys, see that picture there on the left with the frog or the toad, whatever it is? That's actually an image from the studio's previous game, which I have actually played before, called The Unfinished Swan, which is a really, really cool game where you literally paint the world around you and bring it to life as you explore as this little boy who's sort of lost his mother and he's dipping into her paintings and using his imagination, kind of like in this game a little bit. But it's an awesome game, so I do wonder if they're going to tie Unfinished Swan into this game in some way. I think the character was called Milton in that game as well. I think Milton was the little boy. Yeah, so wait, if Milton is the little boy that disappeared in this game, he is the star of The Unfinished Swan, so that would mean that that's why he hasn't got a date of death, because he sort of disappeared into the fictional world of The Unfinished Swan. So it kind of ties the games together. That's awesome. I would love it if they give you a section from the Unfinished Swan in this game. This room literally looks like Unfinished Swan as well. Maybe I'll have to play that for you. And yeah, the model, that's the city you explore. And this music is from Unfinished Swan.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Yeah, this is definitely meant to be the same Milton from that game. That's awesome. So here is Milton's little memorial or shrine. The magic paintbrush, yeah, that's what he uses.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Let's go. Hey, look at that, that's cool. Achoo! This is cool, this is showing his story then. So Milton loved to paint. And yeah, he painted a door, and did he escape through it? Yep. And he was like, bye. And you actually play his story in Unfinished Swan. That's really cool. So yeah, you don't get to play it in this game, but he disappeared because...
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
You know, you find out what his story in Unfinished Swan, guys. So maybe if you guys want me to play that game, I will, but it's even less horror based in this game, so I don't know if it would really fit with the channel at all, but that's super cool that I finally got to see how that ties up. And yeah, there's a picture of a city you explore in the game Unfinished Swan. Right, cool. Let's go then. I guess we go back down. Higher up the house. We need to keep climbing.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
I wonder if there's meant to be more to this game than First Meets the Eye, you know? Like, if maybe something supernatural?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Okay, so we're gonna go and figure out what happened to Lewis now. 1988 to 2010.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
He's been getting his blaze on in there. Right, let's go inside. Looks like we can go through this window. Open it up. There we go. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty psychedelic in this room as well.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Yep, that's exactly what she's talking about right there, guys. That familiar smell. Lewis Finch. Let's have a look. What is this all about?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh, we're seeing him work at the cannery now, where he was basically packaging salmon.
He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Began to what?
wander.
Oh, his mind began to wander. So what are we meant to do? Oh, guys, we can... I've just realised what we do here. We can actually control the character on the screen with the direction buttons.
I asked him to describe it.
We're actually controlling this character. And we actually have to do his job while
He said he started small,
we're controlling it.
imagining a labyrinth.
I feel like his hand's gonna get chopped because he's daydreaming.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats.
Ooh.
And toads.
Toads, okay. That's strange.
and things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Oh, now we can pass through it. That's clever.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
It's like a Zelda game or something. Hey, we're in a magical kingdom. Like a temple or something, like an ancient temple.
But he found something more.
Oh, and now it's becoming more 3D.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
I mean, it's not exactly a hard job though, is it? It's kind of just chopping
Like a whole
heads off
new
fish
Lewis.
and putting them on a conveyor belt.
So I let him go on.
It's not the hardest job in the world. I can even do it while I'm looking at the other screen. Wow, this is getting really impressive.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Okay. Oh, a little doggy. Hey,
He
doggy.
told me he'd made a new friend.
Follow me. We're going up to the camp.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Nice. Lewistopia. I like
Built the
it.
city up slowly, brick by brick.
This is stoner mentality right here, guys.
Then he made musicians.
Look, it's becoming more like his daydream and less like reality. Have you noticed that, guys? More of the screen is being taken up by it now.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
So he escaped into Lewistopia while at work,
Then
right?
one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor,
Mayor of Lewistopia.
and
He's
he won.
rising in the ranks.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Look at this one on a little boat now. He's still controlling it, by the way. Controlling both the fish and
Conquer a city, then immediately push on.
the imagination sequence. We're controlling both. You get used to it,
New
actually.
Louisville.
It's conquering different towns, turning them into Louisvilles.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Alright, gotta go around the rocks now. It's getting a bit harder.
Minneapolis.
I like that
Until
one.
one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Yeah, so the mother came to work to try and just get him to come home. He just kept going and going because he was just lost in his own mind. He was kind of consumed by his own thoughts and stuff. And totally, I don't know if delusional is the right word, but sort of retreated inside his own mind, right?
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Or we get to pick. Let's go handsome queen. Let's go and find him a
Handsome
queen.
queen.
Get Lewis a queen to wed.
The queen was on her own quest for
Let's go sinister serpents.
sinister serpents.
Don't know why, it's just easier to kind of go with that one. Oh, okay, gotta be careful. Go around the sinister serpents.
He followed the sound of her
Electric sitar.
electric sitar.
Let's try and go across all the musical melodies. It's actually harder than it looks to control this little boat. Especially while you're trying to cut salmon heads.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Nice. Maybe we'll finally meet the queen.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Here she is. Oh look, I can't even see the guillotine anymore now.
He knew the world was all
just
in
his hand and the
imagination.
salmons. Oh wow, this is getting confusing. So it's literally becoming more and more 3D now.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Look at this. A whole fleet of soldiers worshipping us as we take our side beside the queen.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Yeah, he kind of snapped between what was real and what wasn't, and he retreated into his make-believe world.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
In we go. Yeah, and look, we've been broken from reality completely. Or are we back in reality now? No, we're back in reality. This is the cannery, right? Yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a grimy looking place.
He began to forget the world we know.
Through we go. So this is a production line where he works with all the fish. Yeah, the cannery.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Is that meant to be Lewis? Are we not playing as Lewis? Looks like we're walking up to him, right? Yeah, he's got Finch on his back.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
You right, Lewis, how's it going? I'm guessing I'm his boss. He's not even picking the fish up anymore.
I still thought I could save him.
Oh, look, we're going up.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Yeah, he just left his body, essentially.
The palace would be packed with his
Wow,
companions.
this is cool. Is this all for me? You didn't have to do this, guys. Wow, look at this. The palace would be packed. Look at that giant cat over there. That's kind of creepy, actually.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Hey, I like it. This place is crazy. Oh, there's Molly as a cat. Little guards. Let's go up and meet our princess or our queen. Look at that, they're all saluting us. They're like, go on, sir.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Right, up we go then.
There was only one thing left to do.
Take our rightful place beside her, right?
Bend down his head.
Oh no! Is this a guillotine though? We're gonna get our head chopped off. He's gonna chop his head off just like the fish that he used to chop. Ooh.
The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
That's sad. He just didn't want to live anymore. He wanted to live inside his make-believe world.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Okay. So there we go. Close the book. It's another story down. It's got a little game console up here, actually.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
It looks like we're going to say goodbye to Lewis now and leave this room that they used to hang out in and have so many wonderful memories in, and we're going to head back towards the house I think his story was probably one of the best ones so far, actually. That was a really cool story.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Also, they didn't leave. I thought they left because of the storm. I think they just left because they didn't want to live in the house. There's too many bad memories. We go upstairs? I think so. You need to go up to the top floor, maybe.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
So this is Edith's room.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Okay. We still haven't done every story, though. So this is Edith's room now we're in. Edith Finch. Here we go.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay, so there's about to be an argument. I wonder if we're going to find out all of the remaining stories in this one night and what happened.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Alright, let's get inside. This is where everyone was said to be buried in the library, they said. Even though there's a cemetery outside, so I don't quite understand what they mean by that. We're gonna find out what's in the library now, which is cool.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Yeah, they were trying to leave because I think they think there's a supernatural entity, a cause, a force of nature within this house that is causing them, you know, to all die prematurely.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch. Let's have a look.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Ooh.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Are we gonna be able to go out to the house then?
They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Oh no, this isn't good. What if the tide starts coming back in?
I got turned around.
Where do we go? This is so bad because we are in the middle of the sea essentially, so if the water comes back in we could drown. Okay, let's look at the ground to try and figure out the way back.
I started seeing things.
Oh, a deer. That's kind of nice. That'd be very surreal seeing a deer on the seafloor like that.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
What is this? Just an old bed?
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
There's the house, guys. Let's go inside. Unlatch it, and through we go.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Did she never get to finish the story? Maybe we're gonna go back in now and finish the story and finally like figure out, you know, what it was all about. Like what actually happened.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
There she is. Yeah, we need to finish that story.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Aww. Of old age, maybe?
After that, we moved around a lot.
Well, she was sick, wasn't she, actually? So, obviously her sickness got her. Because none of them die of natural causes.
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
Ooh, I like that. We just turn it and it makes the story appear on the screen.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're getting all the different stories now for the remaining characters. She had an illness as well.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Aww, that's sad.
And then I was alone.
There's a lot to take in this game, you know, there's a lot of death in it.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
Oh, her child, yeah.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, are we
This
playing
journal
as
was
the
supposed
child?
to be for you.
I think we're coming out with being born, you know, like we're playing as a child
But now
being
I hope
born.
you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Yeah, she must have died when it was born, when the child was born. That's sad. Just to kind of as we predicted, basically.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
So yeah, we're playing as Edith's son by the look of it, when he was a teenager himself. And she obviously died as she gave birth to him. So yeah, that's kind of sad actually. And then I think that's probably the end of the game. Yeah, that's it guys, that was sad, but I liked that game. So that's it guys, yeah, that was a sad ending, but it kind of made sense because everybody died of premature deaths, unnatural causes I suppose, or accidents, and so her death was no different in a way. And hopefully, you know, her child, her son, actually gets to, I don't know, live and kind of maybe avoid dying early, but it probably can't avoid it. It seems to be like a family curse type story, doesn't it? Like everyone's cursed to die in the Finch family before their time, so to speak, or of a bad death. But yeah, it was a cool game. I really loved going into the different stories and seeing them through the eyes of a character, and sometimes they were a bit embellished and a bit like over the top and dramatized. It found an interesting way to tell each story, and each one felt fresh, you know, none of them felt just like you were repeating the same thing. And these kind of games are rare, you know, like you get a lot of kind of walking simulator type games as they're often called, but you don't get a lot of games where it does it so right, like this game, you know, where it gets everything right. Like I didn't feel bored at any point playing this game, despite essentially it just being me walking around and hearing characters talk about stuff, occasionally doing a little bit of gameplay. It managed to make it feel really interesting the whole time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and I hope you also enjoyed seeing the playthrough of this game on the channel, because I wanted to try something a bit different. And so if you found it has worked and you've actually enjoyed seeing me play something a little less like full-on horror on the channel, then maybe I'll try and do some more of these types of games here and there, especially shorter ones like this where I can do them in a few videos. But with that said, that's it for What Remains of Edith Finch, and I hope you've enjoyed my playthrough. If you have, remember to leave me a like on this video, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will see you all on the next one.